you have the statisticians, so you're talking about return on investment, and the great thing about the technology that allows you to actually track that down. And I think this is what you should be doing now. And I think the younger generation should actually be providing us with some of these answers. Of course there are challenges, but I think we're smart enough to be able to figure it out. How does it matter whether the person is literate or not? How does it matter whether he owns a smartphone or not? He can watch a YouTube channel, and if he doesn't, you're quite right, there will be a family member who's willing to do that. I think one final point, which I need to point out. When a patient comes to me, I use my patients as unpaid research assistants. I said, of course, you have all the time in the world, I'm busy. Find out the information, let's come sort it out. And if they come up with something new, I say, great, I have another idea for a new blog post. And then I put it down. So the next time a patient comes with that same question, I don't need to go through the answer.
I, as a practitioner, have realized that the number of pharmaceutical companies have grown tremendously. They have grown tremendously, so obviously the workforce of theirs has also grown tremendously. And everybody's probably market share has been divided. And that is why their profits may be very less. And they are employing less and less efficient people to go to doctors. Three representatives only. So what I'm trying to say is, this sort of marketing needs to be changed. This type of marketing doesn't work. Somebody comes, opens up his folder and tells about 15 products, starts the third product, I forget the first two products. So this is how the representatives actually bore the senior doctor, because the doctor gets part. So this is not a type of marketing, and that is where I feel that the digital marketing will come. Whenever a doctor has got time, now suppose you have one drug, and that drug may be new in the market. Sir, you take this drug, go on our website, and you'll get all the details. I need to know the details of the drug. I must know the side effects. I must know everything about the drug, the dosage and all, before I prescribe. I mean, something which is just kept by 15 people on my table goes in the basket. I don't have time to read because I'm busy by the time I end of my day.
But again, remember, sir, it's the same thing, trust element. Years back, it was one doctor. The PSR used to be known to the doctor used to be known to the PSR. They will sit together. They were social. Okay. And then it came to a class marketing, that only some specific class where you go there. Then it came to a mass marketing, that go have a lot of billboards and go and talk all doctors, everything, whichever milta hai, mil gaya. So that is how it was there. And slowly that we are going back to a cycle. That again it went to a mass marketing, as you said, M divided by S, and then it is now coming towards eligible to one. As you rightly said, sir, there are so many people sitting outside, you will not be interested to listen. You will listen only to one person who reaches you, takes your trust. And that is what, if I can do through digital media, that I own my trust. Among the crowd I stand out. The way the doctor wants to stand out in his crowd, the pharma company also wants to stand out in the crowd to reach you as an audience. And therefore, we are coming out of full circle and coming back to the age-old thing that how one-to-one relationship can be forged. And that is what can be easily achieved through digital media.
We are entering an uncharted territory for pharmaceutical industry, and therefore a conservative approach is very much required. Because there have been several incidences where there have been a lot of lapses, and one has to really be very careful. Although Dr. Malpani has very rightly said, a lot of these young generations, they can actually grab this opportunity so that the access can be found. But one word of caution is to go get it conservative, to see that whatever information we give there, because the reason is there is no geographical boundary. And second thing, this discussion is a controlled discussion. There is a moderator. When you go on the social media, there is no moderator. It is uncontrolled. So it is out of your bounds. So we have to be very careful in what you put there. And another thing is, you don't send a message. It has to be a conversation. That is the bottom line. Thank you.
As we consider the changes that are taking place within the healthcare paradigm, I think we can overall describe a movement from an age of dictated medicine to an age of fully participatory medicine. We need to reflect on the fact that whilst participatory medicine is not mandatory, it is now becoming elevated to the status, I would say, of a basic human right. Patients have the right to participate in the co-creation of their own health. If you look at the statistics, and these are actually a little bit out of date now, But imagine a healthcare professional says, right, I'm going to get up to speed with my medical education this week. I'm going to take a week off, and I'm going to drink lots of coffee, and I'm going to read the literature for 24 hours a day for a week. Well, if they sat down to do that, to read 24 hours a day for 7 days, at the end of that first week, they would be a month behind, because 4 times more information would have been published than they could even have read. So it's an impossible task. And I think it is a sign of respect, humility and trust on the healthcare professional's part. They can say, I might not have all the answers, but what my training has given me is the ability to interpret the information that you found and that you and I can find together, and together we can make the best possible decision for you as a shared process to make sure that you get the optimal care that I can provide for you. And to me that sounds like a relationship, that sounds like the future of medicine. And if the industry is indeed now in the process of no longer, as we were saying, selling brands, but building trust, then from my perspective, the pharmaceutical industry can do no greater service to that healthcare professional-patient relationship than to serve it.
And the reason why is that social media or online communication has been changing entirely medical communication. Medical professionals nowadays have to communicate with colleagues, with patients, even with information. Therefore, social media has brought some real massive changes into the way we practice medicine these days. I think that the only way to prepare healthcare professionals for social media is to train them like that. So I believe that we need to use technologies, especially social media, for getting better at treating our patients, at collecting the information we need in our specialty. And for this, we need to train all the young doctors and the professors, as well as we have to educate patients. And all together, we could get to a better healthcare. Thank you for your attention.
One can very clearly see from the views that have been expressed by our specialists present here that they are very, very keen and willing to navigate this uncharted paths of the digital ecosystem, and they are taking those challenges head on. They are very open to it, and they are looking at pharma. They are looking at the pharma and allied partners to really go beyond being the marketeer that they have always been for decades now, and really come forward and provide those supports which make a difference in today's digital world.